NBA 2K Takeovers is changing the game. You're going to be able to customize your takeover. And man, I want to kind of go through a lot of details about this and then help you get ready for it as well. So lock in, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you rock with me and want more. And here we go. So today and this week, they released the My Player information, aka the builder, and all the new features and mechanics. And one of the biggest ones was that you're going to be able to get custom takeovers. That's right, you heard it here first. Custom takeovers. And what does that mean? Well, it means you're going to be able to have some really wild builds. In my opinion, it can get pretty crazy with what they're planning. I want to kind of demonstrate and showcase that to you. So takeovers, this is how they work. You're able to continue to play the game and you'll get attribute buffs as you go. And then you get an ability right after when you max it out to the actual takeover. Okay. That's kind of how it's gone for last year. And it's a good mechanic and I actually like it. It was smooth. It wasn't that big a deal. Right. So this is the lethal layup. It's going to improve tough layups and floaters in traffic, which is very nice, right? But what I want to talk about and really get into detail is how they actually have 3 different things that they put their attributes on. So you can see on the bottom right here, you get to choose what you put it on. Okay. They put it on 3 different things. Okay. On top of that, the takeover that they chose was lethal layup. You're going to be able to change all that. You can even change the name of the actual layup. So this is a really amazing feature, in my opinion. One thing, you can create your own style. This is a My Player. This isn't, regular NBA. So they should have this type of feature, and they do. So it's a great thing. And now I want to kind of just showcase some of the confirmations from Mike Wayne and company, and what they basically confirmed so far that we know. So you can see right here, it says, are you limited to 1 takeover? And then they explain, oh, once you unlock the takeover, you can get 4 customs to edit. You can edit any of them between games. Okay. This is very critical. Guess what? 4 different versions. That's insane. So I'm super excited about that. Then the next question was, can any attribute be buffed for custom takeovers? They said you can buff any non-physical attribute via custom takeovers, regardless of the current rating for that attribute. Now, personally, I would have loved it if they let us do the physicals, because I would just put it all on speed, call it a day, because that's kind of one of the biggest secrets in the game that a lot of people don't realize. Like on defense and offense, having good speed is super helpful. So yeah, that is crazy. It's looking spectacular. And I kind of want to go back into this and just talk about some things that I'm noticing and why I brought up what I brought up. Right here, if you look carefully, they have speed with ball, 3-point shot, and then close shot. These are 3 different categories. You have playmaking, shooting, and finishing on this. And this is what someone can be able to do. You're going to be able to put on any attribute as you go forward, deciding what is best for your play style. So this is a super critical thing, in my opinion. It's going to change the game for us as players. So what I wanted to do is also kind of just go through the builds that I already have, and I want to go through one. This is more of a comp build where I have good steals, decent perimeter, and my handles and shooting is okay, and finishing is exaggerated. This is like a content creator's dream of just dunking on people. But other than that, I would want to see where could I buff myself, right, with these takeovers as I go forward. What do I feel I'm lacking? Maybe a little more speed with ball, right? I got a 91, maybe not. I don't need it because I got my max +1 on my lightning launch. Maybe I just want to be able to dunk even more crazy, right? Or vice versa. Maybe I just want to be able to defend better. So it just depends on what you would like. And personally, depending on the build, I do believe this is a plus because now let's just say I stack it up for my defense. People think, oh, I'm just gonna cook this guard. He can't guard me. And next thing you know, I'm pretty much playing like a lockdown because my takeover is almost full. I got all my stats for defense buffed up because of this play style, and then we're good to go. When you look at these takeovers that we have now, it's not like these takeovers were eliminated, right? So as far as takeovers, there's still some takeovers in the game, general ones that might be better than the custom ones. But I do believe having the power, because I know when I made play these builds, having the ability to have speed and agility, for example, slice real quick. This is a very fun one just to have the speed and agility. So it's going to make you a better all-around player because of those things. And so you go down the list of like, what is it that I would want that isn't a physical attribute that's going to be useful? That's very cool. Personally, I would have loved it if they allowed physicals, but clearly they being smart about it because they're limiting us. But those are the type of things. This kryptonite one right here with the extra speed can be crazy. There's a ton of stuff. But my thing is you're going to mix and match any type of attribute, create a dominating player who's going to play well, right? And that's the key. And so for you, as you go to make your build, also got to remember that your attributes matter. So you're not going to be able to get a certain takeover if you don't meet the requirements. And so that is important. And remembering to get that ability for that specific takeover is going to be critical. If you don't know what that means, well, all of these have something special. It's called a takeover ability. You see right here, it says perfect bomber. I can shoot from further. This is one of the best ones for the guards. If I get this, I'm shooting half court, right? Just for fun. But again, depending on your play style, what is it that you want to be? Be a defensive stopper? Are you trying to be offensive? You know, for example, on-ball steals, pass steals can be a great thing to upgrade. I like it. And these are the type of things that you can look forward to, but you want to make sure when you make the build that you have the right attributes to unlock this. Because if I went and switched this to like a center build who doesn't have any threes or steals, then all of a sudden I won't get that back. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, this is trying to prepare you for the release. I'm not one of these guys that's like, you must do this build and this is the only build. I'm trying to make sure that we're all informed and then we could all share information about what's possible in these builders, and this new system, customizing it, is very fun. I'm gonna have for each build, you know, you got 4, I'm gonna deck it out with all of that. One more defensive and experiment with that, have another one that's, you know, great with finishing or shooting, and a playmaking one, you know, pretty much all versions, and testing them to see which is most effective for the build, because you won't know. Maybe you need a little more offense. Maybe you need a little more defense. Really cool stuff with the takeovers. I hope y'all enjoyed this breakdown on the deep dive for takeovers. It's looking like a great year for 2K. I'm just going to have myself some fun. Hope y'all will have some fun with me playing these games, vibing. Make sure you like and comment, subscribe if you want more. Man, we rocking. By the way, I got a deep dive breakdown. It's popping up on screen now. Check that out. All right, see y'all on the next one.